When humanity first entered the Galactic Council, no one considered it an event worth remembering. The chamber was filled with ancient species who had ruled star systems before Earth, had even named its continents. And to them, humans were simply another young civilization struggling to survive its own history. Council records listed Earth as technologically average, politically divided, emotionally driven, and strategically insignificant. No one expected anything from them, and that was exactly why no one paid attention when humans quietly took their seats among beings thousands of years their senior. The Galactic War began less than a decade later, and it began the way all ancient wars did, with confidence and arrogance. The Carthax, Dominion unleashed fleets designed to shatter planets, while the Velari Ascendancy answered with living warships that attacked the minds of their enemies as easily as their cities. Entire systems vanished from star charts in weeks. Refugee corridors overflowed. Emergency broadcasts became background noise. Through it all, the Galactic Council searched for solutions and never once looked toward Earth. Humanity was assigned support roles, medical logistics, data processing, evacuation modeling, the kind of work given to species considered too fragile for true combat. Humans accepted without protest. They moved supplies, translated alien distress calls, and calculated survival probabilities. While the great powers fought, humanity watched, recorded, and learned. They studied enemy tactics, reaction times, psychological patterns, and most importantly, the mistakes every empire repeated when it believed itself unbeatable. As the war expanded, the unimaginable happened. Core worlds began to fall. Defensive lines, built over millennia, collapsed in days. Psychic shields failed. Ancient superweapons proved useless against adaptive enemies. Panic replaced strategy. The Galactic Council convened in continuous emergency session, its members no longer arguing over pride, but survival. It was during one such session, when defeat felt inevitable, that Earth's ambassador finally requested permission to speak. There was no dramatic entrance and no raised voice. The human simply stood and said that humanity could assist more directly. The response was predictable. Some council members laughed. Others expressed polite disbelief. Human ships were smaller, fewer, and visibly underpowered compared to the war fleets, already failing. When asked what exactly humans believed they could offer, the ambassador answered calmly that humanity did not fight wars the same way the rest of the galaxy did. Before the discussion could continue, long-range sensors detected new arrivals. Human fleets had entered contested space without triggering any known warning system. There was no hyperspace flash, no energy surge, no detectable propulsion signature. One moment the space was empty, and the next, human vessels were already there. Silent and motionless, positioned deep behind enemy lines. Alien commanders stared at their displays, unable to understand what they were seeing. The ships emitted no heat, no radiation, and no recognizable weapon systems. To many, they appeared harmless. The enemy opened fire first. Massive volleys tore through space, but the targets were gone before the shots arrived. Confusion spread as sensors struggled to track vessels that refused to behave according to known physics. Then, without warning, enemy ships began to disappear. There were no explosions and no debris fields. Vessels simply ceased to exist as kinetic strikes, launched hours earlier from impossible distances, exited folded space at near-light speed directly inside their targets. There was no time to react and no defense to deploy. Humanity was not responding to attacks. They had already calculated them. As panic set in, enemy fleets attempted to retreat, only to discover that escape routes no longer existed. Jump gates collapsed. Navigation systems failed. Entire regions of space destabilized as human technology siphoned mass from nearby stars, causing them to dim and decay silently. Supply lines vanished, reinforcement paths turned into traps. Every strategic option the enemy considered had already been removed before the thought was completed. The Galactic Council watched in disbelief as reports flooded in. Human ships were being lost in the fighting, and concern spread among the Council members until they realized the truth. The losses were intentional. Decoy fleets absorbed fire, while real strikes unfolded elsewhere. Sacrificial units delayed enemy responses by seconds that humans valued more than entire fleets. Humanity had learned long ago that survival did not belong to the strongest or the loudest, but to those willing to trade today for tomorrow. Eventually, an enemy flagship opened communication. Its commander demanded to know what humanity wanted. The reply was simple and calm. Humanity wanted the war to end. When the enemy accused humans of destroying everything, the answer came back without anger. Humanity was not destroying the galaxy. They were preventing it from becoming something far worse. Faced with an enemy that attacked futures instead of fleets, the remaining powers surrendered. The war ended without a final decisive battle because there was no longer any path left to fight. After the silence returned, the Galactic Council summoned Earth's ambassador once more. This time, the chamber felt different. The laughter was gone, replaced by careful distance and quiet respect. The elders asked why humanity had hidden such power for so long. The answer was honest. Power changed how others behaved, and humanity had not wanted to rule through fear. They had wanted to be trusted as allies. When asked if humanity would fight again should an even greater threat arise, the ambassador said yes, but only if asked. As the session ended and humanity prepared to leave, one ancient council member asked the final question: what would happen if the galaxy ever stood on the opposite side of human weapons? The ambassador paused but did not turn around. He answered that such a moment would only come if humanity was forced to stop being kind. As he walked away, the council finally understood the mistake they had made from the beginning. Humanity had never been weak, never been primitive, and never been harmless. They had simply been patient enough to wait until silence was louder than war.